everybody, I'm Dr. Deet Harrison. I'm President and CEO of Chiropractic BioPhysics Seminars and Technique, also known as CBP Seminars. Well, I'm here at my health center, the Ideal Spine Health Center, and the CBP Doctor Institute. Going on right behind me is a complete full session with about 55 doctors that have come out. They've taken a week off their practice to come here and train with me and my team at the CBP Doctor Institute.
My name is Melissa Ownby. I'm from San Ramon, California.
I'm Charlene, and I'm a student at Life Chiropractic College West.
My name's Logan Hart. I'm from High Point, North Carolina.
My name is Tim Fargo. I'm a chiropractor, and I practice in Minneapolis area.
My name is Kenya Hodges. I'm a student from Life Chiropractic College West in Hewitt, California.
I'm Dr. Michael. I'm from UK. I practice in London.
My name is Douglas Lightstone, and I work at a practice in Cumming, Georgia, Better Health by Design.
My name is Ishi Rodriguez. I'm from Puerto Rico. First seminar, it's been truly incredible.
And we have a formal lecture going on in the background, and we also have this really amazing patient treatment center that's also here at the CBP Doctor Institute. After the lecture, as soon as the patients are out of the facility, then the doctors come out and we do hands-on training on all the equipment that we have available in CBP technique. We're training on mirror image adjusting, both with the drop table and with the instrument. We're training on cervical spine traction, lumbar spine traction, thoracic spine traction. We're training on rehabilitation exercises, from simple exercises to complex exercises using the power plate and Stroop's bungee cord bands. And really what this is, this intensive week-long training, is the ideal way to truly get trained in CBP technique. Instead of coming and doing weekend trainings, which are still available, a couple times a year, I open up this facility for a full 7-day event where you can come and you can package the 7 series of the CBP certification training into 1 week. So instead of flying out to this facility or flying anywhere for 7 times, you fly here 1 time, you stay for a week, and we train you up. Now they are intensive days. We're looking at 10 to 12-hour days, but man, I'll tell you what, it's really the best and the fastest way to truly learn CBP technique.
I've been a chiropractor for over 10 years, and this has definitely built a lot of confidence in my work. I created a lot of clarity to be able to serve people in a way higher level.
This is my very first CBP seminar.
This is my first training seminar by Dr. Deet Harrison.
CBP is very new to me, just like chiropractic is. I've had about a year and a half in school, and before that a year of care. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, and I've gravitated towards techniques like CBP that are research-based and science-based, because guesswork just doesn't work for me or the people that I want to serve.
My name is Tyler, and I currently go to school at Life West. I just finished up my 6th quarter, and I'm going into my 7th.
My name is Paul Fisher, and I practice in Chicago, Illinois. This is actually my 2nd one. The cervical seminar was in Chicago actually 2 weeks ago. Knowing that this was going to be something of an immersion experience, I wanted to wet my toes a little bit first and be as prepared as possible, and it proved to be a good decision. This was very fulfilling, but a very intense week.
I'm Dr. Josh Adams down in Tempe, Arizona. Well, this isn't my first time. I've been to a thoracic rehab about a year and a half ago. But, I mean, this week-long seminar has just been, it's been amazing.
My name is Ryan Winslow, and I'm a 7th try student at Palmer in Davenport, Iowa, so I've got a year left. Yeah, I'm doing the full week. I'm a little tired at this point, but it's been great overall. Learning a lot of stuff. It's cool to see all the research, and the huge facility as well is awesome.
This is my first time actually visiting the Idaho clinic. I actually grew up a little bit south of here, about 4 hours, and I always heard about the clinic and how amazing it was, but wanted to, since I was getting so close to graduating, I wanted to actually experience the week-long seminar and get it all in one, and you know, I just knew it would help me out in my confidence and my learning of the technique, just so much more than trying to learn it in a hotel environment. So.
My name's Ryan Hewitt. I'm a chiropractor just north of Boston in a community called North Andover. This is the first time I've attended any CBP education, and what I can tell you about my experience is that it's been Eye-opening, to say the least.
My name is Dr. Chris Goobles. I practice in Fort Collins, Colorado. This is not my first seminar. I first went to a seminar, I went to an annual a few years ago. I was invited by a friend, and I was trying some other corrective techniques, and I was frustrated. I wasn't getting results. Things weren't adding up. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I remember I went to the seminar and I observed, and first I was a bit intimidated and I knew there's a lot of things I didn't know, but I said, okay, so we're doing CBP. And I remember I got a bunch of dinner rolls and I bought a textbook and I went back and started trying doing different things. And
I got sick. I wasn't prepared to that, and so my career idea of it changed. I didn't know chiropractic at all. So somebody just told me, my English teacher, told me, look, why don't you try chiropractic? So I went to a chiropractor and he was doing CBP care. So it was really important for me because I'm really a biomechanical and logical person. So it was really understanding and we can see results. So it was wonderful.
This is my first CBP experience at the modules hosted by Dr. Deed. I took a CBP class at Life University in Marietta, Georgia, and was immediately inspired to get as involved as possible into CBP.
I came to the CBP week because I've been doing a lot of CBP. I've attended several seminars in the UK. I've been to the US before, but I never felt I had the real in-depth basic understanding. And because there's so much new research coming out, I felt I had to go and do a full week and really get my brain deeply into understanding all the research behind the optimal spinal curves, understanding the right protocols for correcting the spine. And it has turned out that I've been in a room with 60 doctors in exactly the same situation.
This is my very first Chiropractic BioPhysics seminar. I decided to come in for the full week-long course, and it's been amazing. The information, it's all-encompassing, so it covers all of the information that you need to know to understand to provide this kind of work to your patients, and it also tells you how to help you run your business with it. So it's been very, very informative.
You know, as a doctor, you go through school and you learn everything about adjusting, and then you sit here and, they look at it from such a complete angle. There's so many more reasons as to why certain patients aren't getting better under strictly chiropractic care. And, you just feel so much more confident after listening to everything that's going on, and you're seeing the outcomes and the procedures that everyone's done. And all of this stuff, it's not just taking someone's word for it. I mean, there's studies, there's everything. So it really is amazing.
The more I learned, the more that I was aware of there's things I didn't know. So more recently, I kind of thought about, we're in this game, chiropractic, and we're trying to do things, and if I'm going to do this long term, I'm going to be the best I can be. And that's where you do a lot of seminars and they talk about purpose and passion, but for me, I get on purpose by learning, and the more I learn, the better I get. That's what gets exciting to me.
So at 24, I'm a chiropractor in Montreal area. So it's a really, it's a metropolitan area. Okay. So there's plenty of chiropractors of all kinds. It's really important, I think, to be not like generalist chiropractor or symptomatic. You have to make a change, like to be different from the other if you want to build an effective practice and a successful practice. So we're really one of a kind in Montreal Metropole. So other chiropractors send people to us, and it's been for years now. It's easy to practice. It's easy to have new people in the clinic. I think it's wonderful because you can see the change, and people, they understand what they are doing, so they are active in their healthcare.
And as chiropractors, we all often feel that we are fighting an uphill battle, but when you're suddenly surrounded by doctors in exactly the same situation, it really empowers you to go out and do great evidence-based chiropractic. So I can only recommend you, if you watch this, to go and do exactly the same as 60 of us have just done this week.
And this has to be by far the most intense. Of course, it's 7 days, and there's a lot of information that you're packing into 1 week. What is incredible is, even though I've been to 2 of the other seminars and we touch on some of the topics that we learned about at the other 2, there's always so much information to learn and just be like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Like, these are little things that I can use when I get into student clinic, or these are some research articles that, you know, I didn't fully understand before, but being further into into the program at school, it makes a lot more sense, and CBP is just incredible.
My journey has taken me to do my internship at a CBP office and continue to work at a CBP office since my graduation in June of 2014. So I was very excited to come out here to Eagle, Idaho, Ideal Health Center, and Ideal Spine Health Center, and get as much knowledge and as much experience as I possibly can.
And we have been in practice since Thanksgiving 2015. So we're babies when it comes to this. It's the first one. My business partner has been out here. And so we opened a CBP practice. He's certified basic level. He's coming back out in the fall for the advanced. However, he's not Dr. Deed or Dr. Yeager or Dr. Joe Betts, and so he's done very well with me, but ultimately I needed to come out here. So, and the experience has been tremendous.
It's been really great. I've been in practice for 33 years, and so to basically take what I've been doing as largely a segmental chiropractor and now begin to shift to a whole other different orientations, super exciting.
He goes into so much depth about how much research actually goes behind chiropractic. I've never really gotten that from school, and it's opened my eyes a lot.
And get better results for sure, which is what our whole purpose is, to help people. So with the tools that I'm gaining and the experience that I'm gaining, the hands-on experience that I'm getting with the equipment, it's giving me incredible resources and skills and just new gifts that I can go back to Puerto Rico and share with people. So it's very, very exciting. It's pretty transcendental for me, you know, in my life, because I've seen a lot of different techniques and I've been in a lot of different groups in chiropractic, and this is just beyond anything I've ever experienced. It's pretty incredible.
I was a patient. I was in a car accident, actually, and I had some nerve issues, some numbness and tingling in my arms, and I didn't know where to go. And my parents have both seen chiropractors, and neither one of them suggested I should go see a chiropractor. Actually, they're like, go see PT, go see, you know, an osteopath, all these different types of doctors, and I just knew I should go see a chiropractor for some reason. So I found a local chiro in my town and went to see him, and one visit later I felt 100%. A couple weeks into care, he offered me a job, and I just knew right then that was what I wanted to do.
First I went to the cervical rehab when Deed came to our school at Life West, and that was my first real big experience to CBP, and it was really cool for me because I was a bio major before I came here, and I went to UCSD, so having that background, it was very research and science driven, and being at Life West, you get a lot of philosophy and not so much the science. It's a lot of philosophy and art, and to kind of bring that all together and have CBP that it just kind of brings together the three pillars of chiropractic for me, and from there I started being more involved. So I went to the club, we've had the class, we had an elective, which was really awesome, and I went to the lumbar rehab that he had in June of last year. And so all those together, I've gotten a lot of this before, but coming back and having the repetitions really helps out, because every time I gain something new, there's little details that I pick out that I don't see from before, or I didn't have the knowledge to really realize.
you get all this information at once, but it all builds on it one after another after another. So I was thinking this the other day, and it's the exact same way I tell patients how care is going to work. You know, if you come in more consistently at the beginning, we're going to get results, we're going to build on that, we're going to build on that, and it's going to go up, as opposed to if you come in and then we don't see you for a while, then it goes back down, and then you've got to pay for the same real estate twice. And here, like the first day or two these are the basics, but every day it builds on just right up the road. So it's intense in that it's a lot of information, but now this being the last day, it's all really getting tied in together, and so it's fulfilling. And just, we were reviewing last night for the certification test, and it's just shocking to realize like how much really you retain, because everything is so logical and it just makes sense. And this isn't a dogmatic theory of how this happens, like, all right, this is what it is, this is how it works, this is from point A to point B, and it's just, for me at least, it just clicked. I'm an analytical guy, so it will work very, very well for me. And I'd say probably for anybody too, hopefully.
I mean, this is probably the most impressive facility I've ever seen in my life. I mean, everything's state of the art. I mean, they've got all the bells and whistles and everything. And the staff, you know, they're so nice, and they've known everything. I mean, they've been doing this for years. And everyone that they've brought on to teach you, I mean, Don Meyer, that guy's been doing this for 30-something years, you know what I mean? And you really, you know, they get it. I mean, it's second nature to these guys, you know, and I may be, you know, new to it, you know, within the past year, but it's nice to see at one point it's just going to kick in and it's going to be automatic. So it's been great.
I'm here with the CBP club from Palmer. So we've been looking at CBP roughly for about a year now, but this is my first experience being to a fully CBP office, and, you know, hearing from Deed himself has been phenomenal. You know, overall, we just weren't satisfied with the education that we were getting at school. It's very frustrating to not have access to the information that you want, and we get that here. It's been great. We get all of our questions answered, and a whole lot more. So,
you know, you come in and you meet the doctors, and they're just, you would think that they would have this just arrogance about them because they, you know, of all the things that they've been through, but man, they're just really humble people. They're really, they just want to help you out, and they, I don't know, they talk to you differently. That, you know, you might have a dumb question or whatever, but it's they answer your stuff so easily and really with, I mean, they've been through it, and so they're really good teachers at what they do. It's not just they're good clinicians. They can, you know, the way that they portray and give you the knowledge that you need is they simplify it. And it's some long days when you first come in, but it flies by. A week's gone by and I can't believe it. So it's awesome.
The organization is tremendous. It's exactly what chiropractic needs. We need more evidence-based practices, and we need more evidence-based you know, procedures and teachings, especially for our students and newer practitioners. And this is the mecca of that example. So the clinic that Deed put together here is an unbelievable example of what is possible for any chiropractor. And he's by no means saying you need to open a massive facility and have every single item of equipment here, but overall, he provides us the education, the research, the certainty, the community that is there to help support and help you along your path to understanding how to practice this correctly. And, you know, it's very welcoming, inviting, just overall, you know, top-notch, A+ in terms of the seminar, the food, the catering, just the community, and how everybody rallies around Deed, and he's you know, really excited to meet everybody, and you know, and hopefully you know, practice this type of technique and bring it all over the world.
Well, it's predictable, it's reproducible, and it's measurable. And the thing about it, there's no guessing to it. And there's like an exact technology of if you do this, if you see this, you do this, and if you see this, you do this. And this is what you can expect from results, and you know when you can and can't get changes or what changes are expected. So it's not a guessing game. It's an exact. It's actually an exact science of what you can expect to happen and with what you're doing. The other thing about it, it's when I look at things going on in chiropractic and where our profession is, if you look in broad, it's a little bit murky and you don't really know what to expect, and it looks the future cannot look so great. I think for chiropractic in a lot of areas. And the first thing when I came to this facility and I saw what Deed had created, it's like, boom, this is professional. They got professional training center, the aesthetics of the place, and then the technology of what they're presenting. It's like there's no one else in chiropractic doing this. And I guess in my viewpoint, I think this is the one group that has the chance to actually saving and preserving what chiropractic's about. And for me, when I see the amount of work Deed's dad did and Deed's has done and is doing, it's like, one, you're very grateful, and it's because I'm taking advantage of that, and people in my community can take advantage of that. But it also, I think, puts the responsibility on us to learn everything from all the work they're doing and make sure we're going out and implementing this stuff as well as we can too.
The difference between CBP and other training methods is there's three aspects of chiropractic, three tenets, kind of like a tripod. There's the philosophy, the art, and the science. And every technique that I've experienced up until CBP has made significant use of the philosophy and the art and not really put any emphasis on the science to explain the other two. And as you know, if you take a tripod and remove one of those legs, this camera right here is not going to stand up too well. And CBP is the only technique that focuses as intensely on that scientific aspect to validate the other two so that it adds strength to the structure of the technique.
The reason why I love CBP is because of all of the research that the doctors provide to us. Deed Harrison has sacrificed so much time with his family, his friends, and even from his patients, just to really focus on what we're doing as CBP doctors and how we can use that research in order to increase the health and also the function of our patients' everyday life. And it's just incredible to see all of this research and really understand and have true conviction for what we're doing as corrective care doctors. So that's where I see the biggest difference, because again, with the research, and to see that this is a doctor, a chiropractor, who has devoted their life to doing this and making our profession better.
I've long felt that I wanted to do something more for people, because there are people that I just haven't been able to help. And so I've looked for a long time for something that really made sense and was scientifically based and rational and also repeatable and easy to learn. And that's what I'm finding with this.
What validated it was I read that research, and I really enjoyed it because it backed up all of this stuff I've been learning. I needed validation. So all the stuff the Harrisons do, it made sense to me. I heard tons of random pieces of information that were so far-fetched in this profession, and it was hard for me to grab onto. So if I were going to talk to a prospective CBP student, I would first explain that it makes sense. I would talk about the knowledge of the staff, and the facilities are top-notch, and they have more research than anything out there. I think Dr. Deed said he's been on over 140 papers himself.
I practice what I considered subluxation-based corrective care, mostly in a model where I'm practicing, obviously segmental adjusting. I am teaching corrective exercises and lifestyle-oriented recommendations. However, through several of my friends, one of them who practices in Colorado and one of them who is actually in school right now and very involved with the CBP club, they had let me know about this type of care or this type of technique. And I did some research, but really my expectations were blown away in terms of what's possible, what I can now offer my patients in terms of true corrective care. Especially regarding before and after films, and just really being able to change their lives even more.
Well, this is the longest seminar that I've attended. I've attended several weekend-long seminars, and this is very, very different. It really feels like a very close-knit family.
Some of it was review, but the more you learn, it's like every time, the more times over, the more details you get, and the more competent you get, and the more everything starts to fit together. So I came out to do the week-long training and get my full certification, and it's been awesome.
There's so much more we can do other than just prescribing medicine and, you know, going under surgery in order to function better. And there's a lot of conservative techniques that we can utilize in order to make people live a better life.
And it changed their mind because it's not only for the spine, it's for the global health. And I think it's just what it's supposed to be. So
not only do you come here and intensively learn the material, have lots of hands-on, but there's a tremendous feeling of community here. So you get to know people from all over the world. There are people here from Australia, people from Europe, people from all over the US, and you get to be part of a community doing something that's totally aligned with what we've all wanted to do as chiropractors. It's just super exciting. And in fact, the data that I got in the last couple days really validates everything that we've always known empirically about chiropractic. So that's been very good. And frankly also, for those people who have a more vitalistic viewpoint in chiropractic versus a mechanistic viewpoint, this completely, as far as I'm concerned, validates the vitalistic viewpoint as well. So it's just great.
It's a mentality change. In school, my first quarter, I was taught the philosophy behind it, the art, science, and philosophy of chiropractic, and we really didn't hear about changing structures or changing the body to an ideal. So that was something I had to grasp myself internally. And now that I hear why it's good to actually change the structure and the shape physically, it makes sense to me. So you really can't sell it. It has to come from within you.
My father's a chiropractor, so like I said, I have a lot of experience in chiropractic. And this is just something I've never even thought it could exist. It's like Disneyland for chiropractors. And it's awesome that the heart is here also. You know, it looks great visually, and it's very modern and sophisticated with the equipment, but you can also see that behind that there's a big drive to help people with the work that they're doing. So that's very inspiring as well. Yeah.
There was a movie called Doctored, and it's about the American Medical Association and how they kind of tried to defame and destroy chiropractic. And I went to go see that movie when it screened in New York City, where I'm from. And right then and there, I knew that that was going to be it for me. So I applied to chiropractic school the next day.
I feel what's great about these seminars is that you're here with the biggest leaders and so many forward thinkers here that you don't get that really anywhere else. Where you come out to Boise, Idaho, and now you're out here on spring break in the middle of nowhere. There's no other place that has these devices, that has the leaders that we have here, and what they're showing us is just so great, and to be able to just be here and experience it with them and learn from the creator of this technique is just huge. And they really give you the science behind it and all the research and stuff like that, and it really gives me the confidence to know that I can expect repeatable results with my future patients. So I'm really excited.
Oh, well, I want to say more about the staff and the teaching, because that was probably one of the best parts is, I mean, really just not only how knowledgeable they are, but I mean, when you consider that each one of them also has their own practice and what they're giving up to be here. And I mean, I was talking with Jason Yeager about how to lay out my office. Pete Lope was going through motion x-rays with me. Deed will talk to you it's just, I mean, people will just go out of their way to help you. And I mean, really, it's, in a situation like this too, it's so much information. I mean, they do everything they can to, like, there is no bad question. Like, everybody's having these issues, and a lot of what we've been taught and what people just kind of accept are just, it's not correct. And those questions are, They're answered in a way that's memorable, but they're encouraged to be brought up because you can't think wrong things and then do right things. But the facility itself, this is like Disneyland for chiropractors. I mean, there's things here that I've been here all week and I'm still seeing new things. I mean, to my knowledge at least, there's no other facility like this probably in the world. I mean, you've got everything there, all the setups. You've got people, I mean, Jason Yeager designed the UTSD, designed the dental. I mean, it's just, there's just no, I mean, I get back to this, I'm gonna have a real tough, I mean, and then the power plates, like 16 of them in a workout room. I'm gonna have a real tough time going back to work on Monday and just not having, any of this stuff.
If you're a doctor and you honestly want to do the best thing for your patient, this would be it. I mean, not even a question. Because, you know, so many times there are patients that you work on and, you know, they start getting better and then they hit a wall. And, you know, that stuff wears you down. You know, as a doctor, I mean, you want to get people 100% better 100% of the time. You know, it sucks when you've got a patient and you come in and you're giving it your all and you've got the great intention and you're giving everything that you know what to do, and you can only get a patient to a certain extent. And you come here and you get those keys and you get those tools to bring it over the top. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing is it changes your confidence level, because all of a sudden you start looking at patients that, you know, before you'd sit there and be like, oh man, we may get some decent results, I don't know. Now your expectation rises and you have such a more positive look at the outcomes that you might be able to get with everyone. And that's really exciting.
I think that our education should be based on evidence. It shouldn't be clinical reasoning, which is important, but it should be hard evidence and studies. And then from that, you should build the treatment. So that should come first before the treatment, and then you should be proficient in a technique based on that. So we don't get enough evidence at school, and then the techniques don't correlate with the evidence that we do have, the small amount that we do get. Our treatments aren't necessarily based on that. So here we get the hard evidence and a lot of it, and then our treatments are derived directly from that. So it's great to know that the technique that you're providing has a logical basis and that it's valid.
If it interests you at all, then you should come. You really should come, because I mean, I've been taking CBP classes at school, but it's not the same. I mean, it's got the information is there, but this is really very hands-on, and it's supported with all the resources and studies that help make this make sense to you. It's weirdly clean here. I'm from the Bay Area, and it's really nice. It's very relaxed.
Well, I would love to have this office myself. It's incredible. We've been to other seminars. You know, I've been to a Mobile seminar. I've been to a Gonstead seminar. A couple other ones, some physical therapy ones, and generally they have them in hotels or at another school. And so I might bring my own table to practice, or in a hotel you might just get slides, and that's good. You get the information across, but it's totally different to come here and have all of the equipment that you'll need in an extremely high quality office, and then getting the people who literally designed the equipment to come out and teach you personally. And there's so much equipment here. There might be 10 different styles of traction, and Deed brings out 10 different people to teach you how to use the equipment, and then you get to learn from Deed and his wife and the top doctors here as well, show you how to do the adjusting. And then we hear from the researchers as well. Chris Calico came here and taught us about the instrument adjusting himself, and he has some amazing research on that, so it's cool to see. It all ties together. I wish it was in the schools. That's what I wish. I feel like we're here, we're 10 years ahead of the profession, and it's good to be ahead, and it's certainly to be a chiropractor, you want to be ahead of the rest of them, but I just want the whole profession to be changed by this, and for this to be integrated into the profession to make it more legitimate.
So Saturday I saw the facility. I actually ran here from the hotel so I could get a distance, and then ran back and saw where it was. It is by far the most complete chiropractic facility I've ever seen, and they've got everything here. I want to say something else, but due to all the research they have, it's easy for us to talk to medical doctors, and we get a lot of referrals back in Peachtree City from the MDs. I met with a lawyer. He was a former county commissioner, and when he sat down, before he would even let me order lunch, he wanted to know what kind of chiropractic. And I said, well, I can't cure cancer with my hands. And he said, we can order now. These guys get it.
Yeah, the facility here is awesome. I'm sure other people have said it's like Disneyland for chiropractors. There's every tool you could possibly want or need, and it really opens up your creativity. You really get to play around with all the different tools that are at your disposal and create the best version of chiropractic that you can come up with for your patients.
The facility is really a showpiece. You have an opportunity to see, put your hands on, use all the different equipment that you might want to incorporate as a CBP practitioner. That in itself is really exciting, and the facility is really state-of-the-art, and they take really good care of you, and you feel like you're not only part of a family, but it's being done at a really high level of quality. So I really liked and appreciated that.
Eagle's great. I've never been to Idaho. I think I'm well traveled. Idaho's absolutely gorgeous. Air's clean. The restaurant scene was fantastic. We went to a place called Fork that was delicious. Everybody was nice. It was bumping. There was some musical festival, which I wish I could have checked out, to be honest. Weather was amazing, and I know it's supposed to be snowy, I think, this time of year, but right now it was spectacular.
Great environment. The weather's been great. It's been whatever, 70, 80 degrees here, clear blue skies, people are very nice. I will say we've been, and this is a bit non sequitur off the path, but we go out to these restaurants and we get the bill at the end of the night, and we can't even believe how cheap it is. No, seriously, you know. It's just it's a very welcoming area. The people have been super nice in the hotels, and the arrangements just great. So.
I always thought I'm from Puerto Rico, like I said, and to come here, it's pretty challenging and it's pretty expensive. And to see that there's so many people here from so many parts of the world is just a testament of how good the work is, that people are willing to travel to the middle of nowhere just to learn and be around this environment. So it's just awesome.
The research that he's done is extraordinary.
The research that's behind it and the facts, there's no guesswork. Everyone is so absolutely sure of what it can do. The proof is in the pudding. At Life West, there's a lot of speculation and guesswork, and I just love the specificity. There's nothing like it. There's no technique like CBP at all. It definitely stands alone, and it's a whole different approach. The legacy that Don Harrison left behind is, you can't put into words. You really can't put it into words. And the thought process is really what sets CBP apart. So you're taught to think, and you're taught to question and be skeptical. And that's my nature. And yeah, everything is backed up. So I love that.
Well, I'll just say, one thing that I got into CBP because I've got a digital motion X-ray, and was brought up in kind of the belief that, you know, there's not a real big correlation between static posture or static alignment and then overall health and function. I just kept seeing these X-rays one after another. I was like, it can't be right. And so I started researching more and more, and then found like the CBP rehab book, and then like just started reading that, and then everything, and it was just like a whole new world opened up. I mean, for the people who, you know, if anybody's saying like, God, a week away from the practice, like I can't, like sometimes you've got to pause to really take a step forward. And, you know, sometimes you have to spend the time sharpening the axe, not just swinging it against the tree harder and harder and harder. And I mean, even talking around here, I don't think what I'm saying isn't echoed by everybody else here, that this is just a completely different way of looking at things. So, I mean, even people who've been doing CBP for years are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I was doing that wrong. So there's always more to learn, and it's been fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So, highly recommend it. Boise, if you live in America and you're complaining about getting to Boise, we've got people from Singapore here, Australia here, UK here, Saudi Arabia, I think, or, I mean, literally every continent except for Antarctica, I think. So it's yeah, the time and trouble of getting here is, it's a BS excuse, or it's a beautiful sunshine excuse.
You know, I think the biggest thing for me, learning this technique, is just to be able to have objective data that's reproducible, and, you know, to be able to have that confidence just is for me gonna just be able to empower me to be able to be just a better doctor. And yeah, I wish that the technique was in all the schools. So I think it would help us out as a profession and give us some more headway in where we need to go. And yeah.
I'd just like to add that I think that this needs to be explored by every single chiropractor, chiropractic college, and everybody at least needs to know that this type of care exists. You know, being someone who's more of a Gonstead chiropractor and a manual adjuster, of course I always thought that I could make manual corrections, and I have seen them, and I do pre and post x-rays, and I do see great changes with postural improvements, and you know, even just segmental adjusting, I'm getting, you know, some curvature corrections and things like that. But the examples that they're showing here and what's possible, it makes that ability to show the patient what's possible, you know, absolutely concrete and evidence-based. It's something you can look them in the eye and tell them with certainty that, you know, this is what I can help do for you, and this is how it's going to change your life. And right now, I don't feel like I have that. You know, it's more of just, let's hope that this changes, and let's hope we make the corrections that we want. And now for me, I mean, this just takes it to a whole new level. So for anyone who's practicing corrective care and not just symptomatic relief care, that you have to know about this care, and you have to be practicing these principles and really owning this education, because this is the cutting edge of research and where chiropractic is going.
Yeah, I think for any doc, whether or not your goal is to do corrective care or not, I think every doc has a responsibility to at least expose themselves to this so they can actually understand what it is. And also understand, if you're not someone that wants to do this type of care, that you have patients that need this, and you need to be able to identify when you have things that you can't handle if you're not doing corrective care, when it's in the best right of the patients to find someone that can. And the other thing that's great is the community and like all of the instructors here, they really take you in, they embrace you, and if you're willing to learn and you're putting the work in, they want to help you and they want to make sure you're succeeding. So for me, it was like this whole other family of chiropractic that was people you could look up to. They're helping you, but it's really a community that I am, you know, excited to be part of.
I just want to thank the CBP team and Deed Harrison personally for all the sacrifice and all the hard work. I really wish him the best, and I hope that the vision of CBP taking over the world is fulfilled in his lifetime, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this seminar to anybody who is committed to understanding the research behind chiropractic, and someone who wants to further their education, someone who's ready for this intense week-long program, someone who wants to make a difference in their patients' lives, their family's life, their friends, and also to help the community.
Yeah, it's exciting for me to reinvent myself as a chiropractor. There are some people who may see this who are brand new out of school or still in school, and there may be some people that have been in practice for 50 years, or as I said in my case, for 33 years. It's really very exciting, and you should embrace being able to reinvent yourself, because there's always more to learn, and this is a great opportunity for us.
You know, after being through 3 other basic modules, I think this is actually, you know, if that's the only way you can do it is to hit the weekend ones, you know, that's what you have to do. But you know, this is, you get everything tenfold. It just seems like everything runs together. It's more complete, so you're not getting sectioned off, and you kind of can see the whole technique from, you know, you're just not looking at the trees, you can see the forest, and so you can kind of get the big idea and the big picture of everything. And so that was huge for me, because you know, you just get little tidbits here and there by taking modules, and so by getting it all in one week, it really empowers you to kind of see the whole picture.
Honestly, I mean, I highly recommend that everyone comes for the week-long seminar. You know, I understand that, you know, it could be tricky for someone to come to 10 individual ones, but, you know, this is a week that it's taxing. I mean, it's tough to get through it, but at the end of it, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't come. You know, I'm actually making a huge sacrifice to be here, because my business actually opens up this next Monday. You know, one of the most important times in any business is that week before you start. And I saw that this was so important that I put that aside to be able to make it here. And I'm so grateful that I am, because I know when I get back in there on Monday that everything's changed, and I'm gonna be able to help out a lot more people than I would have if I didn't. So, I mean, I'm really grateful to everyone that had me here and took the time to talk to me after just the lectures and looking at the books and everything. I mean, they sat down and they want you to know this stuff. You know, this is their baby. They care about it. It's easy to see, and they want you to be the best doctor you can be. And you know, you may not be able to have everything that this facility has. You know, the $13,000 power plates. You know, the 9,000 forms of traction they have around here. But you know what? They've actually been really good about talking to us about what we could functionally use in a smaller space. And so you don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles in the beginning, but that part's really been great. I mean, they really care about you as a doctor, and I know that even after I leave here, I can still keep in touch with them, and if I have patient questions, I can go online and figure it out, and they're always going to be there. And so it's very comforting to know that.
I think every single chiropractor can benefit from coming to a CBP module, from reading CBP research, from reading CBP textbooks. There's nothing more empowering, nothing more motivating, nothing more inspiring than being able to explain every single aspect of what you do in a provable, statistically significant, scientific aspect. And doing that doesn't take anything away from the philosophy. It doesn't take anything away from the art. It only enhances it, and it only empowers us as practitioners to be able to restore health, okay, and maintain health with the utmost of confidence.
I hope that some of you out there will consider coming to this week-long training as well, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.